Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and another video here. Today I have a video talking about my new and improved, but still kind of mostly the same, nail polish organization spreadsheet. I've been getting emails here and there and comments, and I know the link is broken to my original nail polish spreadsheet. So I did a video like several years ago at this point, just showing you guys my nail polish spreadsheet and how I use it, and I created a template for you guys to use in Google Sheets. And then I think I accidentally just deleted that template at some point when I was anxiously cleaning out my Google Drive and didn't realize it until I got an email, and then I was like, I need to fix this, and then I just never did. And then I was like, you know what? The whole thing needs to be kind of revamped and updated, and so I was like, I need to do that first, and then I put that off for 100 years, but now we have it. And if you're like, why are you sitting here? I don't know. This office is a mess. Do you ever feel like once your life gets off track, there's no going back? That's how I felt about my nail polish spreadsheet, actually. And for over a year, I stopped putting polishes into the spreadsheet, stopped making swatch sticks. And as you guys know, I do get a lot of polishes. So updating it took maybe like a month in total, because I had to audit all my polishes and see what it was and wasn't in the spreadsheet versus what was in my drawers. So I had to pull every drawer and compare it to the spreadsheet. And then I was like, well, I need to audit my swatch sticks and pull out everything that I destashed like a gajillion years ago. Hillary, where's your destash? I'm making it, I swear. I just don't want to go to the post office. So I had to pull out every single swatch stick that I don't have the polish for anymore, which that took forever. And they're all in this bag till I organize them, because I want to keep them for like comparison purposes, but I don't want them up on the wall because I don't want to go through there and then be like, oh, I want this polish, and then it's not there. And then I have to put all my swatch sticks back on the rings, but that's a future problem. And then I just kind of wanted to like make the sheet a little bit nicer. I like functionality when it comes to spreadsheets, and so I'm not one to put a bunch of like graphics and pictures and things into my spreadsheets, but I do want it to look clean and nice and organized. So I did fix some of that and make it look nicer, and I fixed one of the formulas that it wasn't like working for me. So I will talk about that when I show you my actual screen. But let me just real quick explain like why I have the spreadsheet. So I have that's six, but I have three separate organization methods for my nail polish, which might seem like overkill, but they all have their place. Okay, they all have their time and place. My first method of organization is I have 4 Helmers where all of my polishes are inside, alphabetical by brand, and then within that brand, they are in rainbow order. So I go red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black, gray, white, gold, silver. That's it. That's all the colors. And some people put pink like with purple. I think that's weird. I think pink is a light red. It should be with red. That's just my opinion. And so in the drawers, if I'm like, oh, I want to wear China Glaze Zombie Zest, I go to the C drawers, find China Glaze, open the drawer that I know has the greens in it, and then I find Zombie Zest. Very easy. That's for when I know exactly what I want to wear. Then I have the swatch rings, which are organized on my wall, as you guys have seen behind me in many videos, and they are organized in rainbow order, same rainbow order that I just mentioned. I also have a swatch ring for just toppers and just stamping polishes. And then within each color, so like within the red swatch rings, I have all my creams separated together. I have all my glitters separated together. I have like metallics and multi-chromes all in their own like subgroup. And then within like the creams, they're organized from darkest to lightest. Within the glitters, they're organized from darkest to lightest. So it's like, I'm like, oh, I want to wear a medium toned red. I would grab, like, say I want to wear medium toned red cream. I grab the swatch ring that has medium toned red creams. I could fan them all out, pick the one I want by color, rather than like having to know exactly what brand has what. I go, oh, I like this one. On the swatch stick, it says the brand and the color name, and then I know exactly what to go into my drawers to look for. So those are very functional for me in different ways. But the spreadsheet, the pièce de résistance, if you will, I just like data organization. I don't know. I just like having it all at my fingertips so that I can see exactly how many or how many of one color or how many of one brand I have or how many of one polish that I've worn, etc., etc. So, and it's nice to have it everywhere I go because I have access to it on my phone. And so if I was like back when I used to buy polish in the store more, I could pull it up and go, "Oh, like I really like this Essie, but do I actually own this Essie?" Pull up my nail polish spreadsheet, check it on the spreadsheet. There you go. It's just a nice central kind of hub for everything. And you can filter it, you can sort things however you want. It's really, really convenient for someone who thinks like I do, where I like to group and categorize and line things up very specifically. And I will say, starting your nail polish spreadsheet, if you have a lot of polishes and you haven't like documented this stuff yet, it is a big time sink. It takes a lot of time. But in my opinion, it's worth it. For me, it's worth it because once you get it to the point where you just have to perform maintenance on it, like whenever you get a new polish or whenever you destash polish, it's so nice. It's so streamlined. Getting to that point, not always easy if you have a lot of polishes. I wish people would just pay me to do it for them because I would really enjoy doing that. But for now, let's just hop in. I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to show you my nail polish spreadsheet and what it looks like. And then I'm going to take you guys on a quick tour of the template that I have made for you guys because it's just slightly different because there's a few columns that I don't think that everybody really cares about. Like I have a column to mark once I've made a swatch stick for it. Most people probably don't want that. You can add it into yours if you want, but I just figured for like the base template, nobody's going to want that. So I will show you that and I will show you just a quick, like if there's something you want to modify, I'll give you a quick tip on that and that'll be it. So I hope you guys enjoy, and the link to the new nail polish spreadsheet will be down in the description box for you guys to make a copy of it to your drive. And I stress that, make a copy to your drive. I have gotten so many emails over the past few years of people telling me like, hey, your spreadsheet, like I can't edit it. You need to make me an editor. And I'm like, no, I can't make you an editor because that's the template. You have to make the physical copy to your drive and then you can edit to your heart's content. But I can't let anybody be an editor on that sheet because then we don't have the template anymore. You get what I'm saying? So make sure if you want this sheet, make a copy. And feel free to make any modifications or changes that you like. This is what works for me, but you might like what I have and might want to use it as a jumping board into something that fits your lifestyle a little bit more. So let's swap over to the screen and I will show you guys everything. Okay, so here is what my new and improved nail polish collection sheet looks like. I've made just a few like cosmetic changes that make it nicer to look at, things like that. So I'm just going to go from left to right and talk about each section and what changed or didn't. So first off, on this top band here, I just made it a light gray so that it looked a little bit nicer. Really, that's it. As far as column A, which is where I put the brand name, I didn't make any changes at all. You can see there's really nothing to change there for me. I mean, if you guys have any ideas for anything, let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then column B, collection, again, no change. I did go through and I filled in anything that was missing. If I couldn't find a collection, I just put NA because collection's not as important to me as, maybe like the polish name or the brand. But I do like that I can come up here and I could filter by collection or say I wanted to see everything that I got from like polish pickup. I just change it. So I search PPU, I can select all 59 and you can see every single like polish pickup that I've purchased from or gotten polishes from. And I can just be like, okay, here's all my polish pickup polishes. For column C, polish, again, no change. I just put the name of the polish in there. Really nothing else is needed. So the first three columns are pretty standard. But then when we get into the changes, we start here at column D for colors. So before I just was using like a fill-in, like you can literally just hit this paint bucket up here and fill in whatever color you want. I didn't think it looked cute. I don't know. So I added in these drop downs so you can hit the drop down and pick whatever color. Like, so this is blue, but say I was like, oh, actually it's purple, but it's blue and I need to change it back. So I changed this to have the drop down function. And I also made the colors a lot softer because before they were really like, they look like, you know, when you're in kindergarten, you get like the pack of 8 Crayola crayons and they're very saturated, but not in like a cute way. That's what it looked like. And so I chose these kind of like a little bit more pastel leaning types of colors you can see. I really like it. I can always change it later if I want to alter the hue or whatever, but I really like this drop down kind of thing. And for like white and multi, I just made them both white because like I don't know what to do for multi aside from just leave it plain. But yeah, I got red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black, gray, white, gold, silver, and multi. If you have other colors, like I know some people differentiate teal, I just put whatever teals I'm like, if it's a more blue leaning teal, it goes into the blue. If it's a more green leaning teal, I put in the green. And then inevitably I switch it between the two 100 times. But if you want to add more colors to these, I will show you how to do that when we get to the actual template portion. And then with finish, I also added the drop down. I just left these as gray. And before, I think I had this listed as shatter polish, but I changed it to crackle because I don't really use the word shatter when I talk about it. I talk about it as crackle. So I put these in alphabetical order here just for ease of use. So we have crackle, cream, flaky, glitter, hollow, jelly, metallic, multi-chrome, and shimmer. And again, just like with the colors, like if you want to add different different finishes that you categorize, like all of my glitters go under glitter, whether it's a curly glitter or a chunky glitter or like a fine glitter, they all just go under glitter because that's just how I think about it. But if you wanted to differentiate between all those, I will show you how to add an additional line here. Then for column F, we have notes. And again, the drop, can you tell I was getting real into this drop down function? This is just like secondary information. So I have like backup if it's a glow in the dark, if it's halal, because I have a couple that are right there. That's it. That's all I've got. If it's magnetic, if it's a mini, if it's scented, if it's a stamping polish, thermal, a topper, UV, and then if it's doesn't have any additional notes, I just put NA. And these are all going to be counted up over on the right side of the sheet, which we'll get to later. So you can see like the accumulative total of like all of whatever color I have or all of whatever finish or all of whatever toppers, etc. So this column here, this I was going to call it the pound sign, but I think we're calling it hashtag now. The little hashtag. I have a formula up here that I have improved on because before, if I had two polishes that had the same name, it would put the count of me wearing the polish to both of them, even if I only wore like the 1x1 brand, if that makes sense. So I figured out there's a formula that I can count it if it matches two conditions. So now this formula counts, or it adds to the count if on the worn sheet the lines match both the brand and the polish name. So like, for example, say I had two polishes that were called, actually, I know which one I have. So like I have two polishes right here that are called Wisteria, and they're both purple creams, incidentally. And so if I didn't have the brand marker in here, so like this one, see, it would count every instance of Wisteria because it's only hitting against the polish name. So it doesn't understand that, like, I didn't wear Wisteria by Color Department. I wore Wisteria by Sally Hansen. It's just going to count it. So if I undo that and I put that back in with the brand in there too, then it will only count the Wisteria for Color Department on this line. And it will only count the Wisteria for Sally Hansen on this line. Something that I didn't know if Google Sheets had that or not. And I didn't really look, and so I was manually entering anything that had double like matching names, and that was kind of a huge pain. So I fixed that. So that's great. I love that for me. This is a column that is not in the sheet that I'm going to show you guys later. This is just for me. This is the ST stands for swatch stick, ST stick, because I didn't want to put the actual initials for swatch stick for my own personal reasons, I guess. And then I just put a Y there for yes if I have made the swatch stick. So when I did my audit, I went through, and anything that is yellow, I didn't find the swatch stick. So I got to go back through and double check because I'm pretty sure I have it and I just missed marking it off. And then anything that doesn't have a yes, anything that's blank means I need to make a swatch stick. So I'm almost done with all my swatch sticks. I ran out of label tape, but that one is not on your guys's accessible sheet. However, if you want it, you right click and then you would just insert one column, and then you could, make it if you wanted to. The SP is for swatch picture, and it's if I've taken a swatch picture and saved it to my Google Drive or not, so that I know that it's been documented. So you can see, those are a little bit more sporadic. Anything that NA is just a stamping polish. Like, I don't care about documenting those specifically. But you can see, like, there's gaps here and there, and my goal is to fill all these gaps someday. But that's just for swatch picture. And again, I didn't put it on the sheet for you guys, but you can always add it. It's super easy. And then the IG is for Instagram, and that's have I posted it to Instagram so that I don't double post anything. I went through my entire Instagram on Tuesday and Wednesday, I think, and double checked all of these to see. And I noticed I did accidentally like double post some because I wasn't keeping up with this. But it's like I'm trying not to double post the same swatch pictures over and over. While I was doing that, I think I accidentally liked some comments from like 3 years ago. So if I accidentally liked your comment from 3 years ago, I wasn't trying to be creepy. This one here is price. I'm not going to highlight it because I don't want to know. It's going to total up in the corner and I don't need to know that. That's not my business. But this is like anything that I bought it for, like the price. If it's NA, that means I either didn't put it in because like I said, last year I was bad about putting stuff in. So if I can't remember, I can't find it, I put NA. But also anything that I got before I initially started making this sheet, I don't know the price. So I just put NA for those. 0 is for anything that was like a gift or I got for free or whatever, so, but it's just, I like to keep track of it. I mentioned this, I think in my first nail polish sheet thing I made, but I remember once when I was a kid, one of my childhood friends, his dad's trailer caught on fire and they lost everything. And they had to make a list of all the stuff. And his dad collected DVDs. He was a big movie guy. He had to make a list of every single movie he owned and the approximate price he paid for it, and in order to get like his insurance claim or whatever. And I don't know why that has stuck with me. That happened when I was like 7 years old. I don't know why I'm 33 now and I'm like, I gotta write the price down because what if there's a fire and I lose all my nail polish? But I feel like it's a good piece of information to have. Then there's the buy date, just when I bought or received the polish. It's not like super important. This one, see, I put 2024 because it was a gift, but I wasn't logging stuff that year because I was really slacking. So I just put the solid year for that. And then anything that's like NA is stuff that I got before I started the sheet. And then we have where I got it from. So I didn't change this at all, but I did change how I labeled stuff. So I just made it a little bit more concise. So anything that I got from the actual brand shop, beforehand, like, so this one's from Abomination Cosmetics. Beforehand, I would have put Abomination Cosmetics there, and then I would have put like Holo Taco where Holo Taco was. But I could have just put them all under one label by just putting brand shop, because I know if it's brand shop, I go over, it's like, oh, it was Abomination. D-Stash, I used to denote whose D-Stash I got it from, but I realized like that doesn't really matter to me. PBE, I used to have PBE and then the year, but that became really redundant. I realized when the buy date is there, so I don't need to separate that too. And then PPU, I just put everything from Polish Pickup there. And like if it's like a like What's Up Nails or Beyond Polish or something, their own kind of polish store, Polish Pick, where they sell a bunch of polishes, Trans Design, Beauty Zone Supply, they all get their own line for some reason, because that's just what I wanted to do. Oh, and I got like my PR marked, stuff like that. So these are all the things that are important to me when I'm logging a polish. And then if we move all the way over to the right, I added the gray on all of these again, just like for the header. So it looked a little bit nicer. I thickened up the border just because, again, I thought it looked nicer. And then I changed the shades owned to match these colors over here. And it's like just a very pretty pastel-y rainbow. And then this formula here, it searches the column D here for every instance of this color. And if it's there, it counts it. And then you can see this totals up to 1952. And I just have a big total at the bottom. And I put the percentage here too, just because I like that. Same concept with the finishes owned, except for this does finishes instead of colors. And again, here with miscellaneous info, it just does the exact same thing. And the reason I have a total for each one is so that I know that everything matches. So I know that everything's kind of aligned, because if one of these totals that is off, that means there's a problem somewhere. And then the last section is brands owned. Again, I added the gray up here. And again, same thing. It counts from the brand, so column A, and it just matches it up and gives you the percentage. You can see like my collection is 6.15% China glaze, or, you know, whatever you want to see, 6.35% Holo Taco. And then the brand list is really long, and there's the total there. Then we go over to the second tab here. This is worn, and this is everything that I have worn since January 1st of 2018 when I started this sheet. I have brand, collection, polish, color, finish, and date. I don't have everything in there just because, like, I don't need the buy date and stuff like that. But whenever I wear a polish, I just come here and, like, say I wore Strawberry Chillin'. I just copy that, and then I would go all the way to the bottom, and I would paste it in, and then I would put whatever the date was. So, like, say it was the 6th, and then that adds to my stuff worn. And then if I come over here, now you can see the number is 1. If I delete that off, now it goes to 0 because it's got nothing, it's not hitting against anything here. The other thing about this sheet that is worth mentioning, I guess, is anything that's grayed out is something that was destashed. So I had it, but I don't have it anymore. So if I'm ever like referencing this sheet and I'm like, oh, I missed this one, like I want to wear it, I'll know, oh, it's not there. So, and I used to separate everything onto its own year sheet. I'd be like worn 2023, worn 2024, worn 2025. I think it's insane that I've been tracking this since 2018. For 7 years, I've been working on this spreadsheet. That's weird. Hillary's weird. But I realized it was kind of redundant because I was copying those whole years into like a worn all-time sheet. And I was like, I might as well just have one really big sheet to put my polishes on. And then removed, this one is just for my own reference. This is just everything that I destashed, and it looks exactly the same as the owned tab, except I have like the reason why it was removed. So either I decluttered or I gave it to a friend or I used it all up, you know, stuff like that. And then I have the dates that they were removed. Oh, look, I gave that to Stacy. If I have it, but clearly I don't have a lot of those. So, and I don't know what that's doing there. So we're going to get rid of that. But yeah, so I just keep this as another reference. So that brings me to the nail polish collection template that I have made for you guys to use on your own if you so desire. So I just put one of like every color on here from my collection so that you guys would have, just a good visual. You can, delete these if you don't want them on there and add your own in. This only has owned and it has worn, and it's all set to go for you. So if you have like other brands, so like say that you have, I don't know, a bee's knees lacquer, you type that in there, and then whenever you have a bee's knees lacquer that you add in here, it will count it up right there. And like, see if I copy and paste this a bunch of times, it counts all of them. So that's nice for everyone. And if you want to change the types of finishes, just change them over here, or the miscellaneous info, you can change that, or you can just fully delete that and then, delete the notes section if you want. It's really up to you. You can, if you don't care where it's from, you can right click the column and then hit delete column, and it's gone. You don't have to deal with it. And again, like I said, if you wanted to add something else in, you could insert a column on the left or the right by right clicking the top here, and say you also wanted like a swatch pick one. There you go. Now you have that. You can also filter or like sort things. Like say I wanted, like you can sort these A to Z. You can filter. So you'd clear this and then like say I only want to see my gold polishes. Then it will only show you the gold polishes. I default sort mine by alphabetical within the brand. And then I sort it A to Z by color so that like all of the colors within a brand are alphabetical. And then I sort it by brand. So that's just my personal preference. You can do whatever you want. Say you're like, oh, I want to wear a flaky polish today. Now I know what all my flakies are that I have to choose from. So that's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, again, let me know in the comments. But say you hate the colors that I've chosen, or you want to add some more or something like that. There are two ways to get, or actually there's three ways to get to the modification page. So you can either come to the drop down and hit the edit button, and it will pull this dashboard up for you. You can right click it and then hit the drop down and it will bring that up again. Or you can go to data and then you can click on data validation, and this will bring up the panel for every single drop down you have. So if you hover over this one, it shows like you're in the color one. So you can see that green line around here. You hover over this one, it goes to the finishes. You hover over this one, it goes to the notes. So for example, we go to the color. So like if you hated the red, you could do that. You could change it, change all the colors. Maybe you want the pink to be blue. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your business, not mine. And you can add another item if you wanted. Like, so say you did want a teal in there. You could do that. And then the teal's right there. And then you can drag this wherever you want it in the list. So you can drag these however you want. It's up to you. I put them in rainbow order. So then you'd hit done, and then you'd hit apply to all. And then that will apply it to every single drop down in this column here. And now you can see our blue pink is there, our red that we changed the color, and our teal. Same for the finishes. You can change the names of them if you want. You can add another one. You can reorder them if you want. I just put them in alphabetical order because that's my preference. And again, same with the notes, same concept right here. And then I've also given you guys the worn page. So if you wanted to keep track of what you've worn as well and have them counted on this sheet, you would just copy and paste them from here to here. If you don't want this sheet, just right click it and then delete it if you want to get rid of it. And then of course over here, whenever you add new brands, if you want to add brands in, or if you want them to count over here, you have to add them over here on this side for yourself. But that's pretty easy. You can just change them. And then if you need more lines, I usually just highlight like a line, I right click, and then I'll hit like insert cells and shift down, and then it will add another line. And that keeps this formula counting the whole thing too. So yeah, that is the sheet. If you guys want to use it, like I said, feel free. It's in my description box. Make any modifications you want. If you have any questions about how to use the program, I can help you best I can. I'm not a genius about this, but I just enjoy, it's a hobby of mine apparently. I just love spreadsheets. So let me know if you guys have any ideas to add to the spreadsheet or anything like that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.